Yeah, yeah, that's fine. So if you need, you can give it a description. And there are two categories in a repository. One is public and private. So anything that you see online, the softwares which are called as open source, it's called as the public repository. So which is containing the source code available in the public. So those softwares are called as open source softwares. So basically, you'll find those in the GitHub. So even VS Code is a open source software. If you search for GitHub VS Code, you'll be able to see that repository. You can use VS Code in your own application itself as a code editor. So here we'll create a private repository. So private means, yeah, you're going to, maybe it's going to be your personal project and you're building something. It could be anything, but something that is you don't wish to show to the world. Yeah, make it as private. Yeah. So then we have three things shown here. First is the README file. So README file basically is what is shown when you open your repository. Uh, can you duplicate this tab? No, can you duplicate this tab or again open GitHub in a new tab?
Okay.
Okay. So yeah, you can click something. Yeah, there is some other repository. You can click that. Can you go back? Good. Yeah, you can open anything. Or I think if it could be better if you opened. Yeah, this is fine. This is fine. Cool. So you can see that anything that is shown. So first part it shows is the options that are available in this repository, and then actual code, the file structure which is contained in this repository, and the third part is like the description of this repository, which is actually written inside the file called readme.md. So it's a markdown file. It's a simple format. So whatever you write inside readme.md, it's going to show up in your repository as the text. So can you go back? I think
Yeah. Okay.
the main page which you were in, there were some other repository. Can you go back again? No, not that, not there. In the same tab, in the first last
Yeah.
tab,
Right. Sure.
the last tab, press back again. Last tab.
Yeah, I will open this.
Yeah, no, okay, fine. Yeah, there is some repository, right? Can you open the first or second one? No, go back, go back, go back. Not here. Please go back. Yeah, back again. Yeah, here you have someone else's repository. Can you open that? I think it's fork repository. Yeah, you can see this is another repository. I think probably it's forked. Uh, can you? This is the file structure that you have for this repository. Can you scroll down? Yeah, a bit. Yeah, a bit more. You'll be able to see the contents inside the readme.md. So you can see here is where you'll get the details about what this repository contains and what it actually does. So is it an application or is this just a repository for storing files? Maybe you will be able to find repositories which just contains files for preparing for exams. So even those kind of repositories exist. And this one seems to be some application written in JS. Uh, and you will also find the instructions on how to run this application in this file. So whatever is written inside readme.md is what is being shown here to you. So that's the purpose of that file. Now can you go back to the first tab in the browser? First tab. Yeah. So it's actually asking you an option whether you need to add this uh, readme file into your repository. Now what that does is it actually creates a readme file and makes a commit to your repository. If you don't do that, your repository is going to be empty. There is no commit inside it. So actually we don't need any readme file. And then we have add dot gitignore file. It is actually dot gitignore. Remember that, and it actually does not have any file name before it. Usually we'll have file name dot extension, right? But in this case, there are some files and there are some files which is defined only by their extensions, like .env and .gitignore. So gitignore is a file which tells your repository that which files should not be pushed to the repository. So maybe you put some files which are irrelevant to a repository in your folder, local folder, but you don't need those files to be pushed. In that case, you just need to add the name of that file inside this git ignore file so that it will ignore those files from being added to the repository. So that is the purpose. You can check the second one. Second, yeah, check that box. Yeah. And also it gives you an option to choose from a template. It depends on what project you are working on. Can you click the drop down?
Yeah.
Yeah, you'll see, yeah, a variety of projects. We, yeah, we have worked on JS and Python. It just gives a template of what kind of files that it might expect for ignoring. So you can type Python. Yeah, yeah, click that. And the third option is license. So I'm not going to talk more about it. So there are multiple types of licenses. So basically, these licenses are needed when you're trying to make your code public, and these licenses state that how your code can be used by others, in what way they can use your code, and what are the limitations that they have when they are using the code. So that is what is defined by a license. There are multiple types of licenses. When you click choose a license, can you click on that? Choose a license. Yeah, can you click on the license? Yeah, there are multiple types of licenses. So basically, every license will have its own definition of what others can do with your code. So maybe people cannot use your code for commercial purposes, and they might need to contact you for that. So those kind of things depend on the license that you specify here. So yeah, I'm not going to touch more on that. So can you uncheck that? And we are actually having a private repository, so it's not necessary. Only if your code is going public, it would be needed. Mm. Now, can you click create repository? Yeah. So this is a repository, and since we chose the second option, which is to add a gitignore file, it actually added a gitignore file, and you can see that it says it has one commit on the right. Under the code, you can see one commit. Under code, there is a green button, right?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, that is, click that. So here is what you can see is the commits that are there in this repository. So this is the only commit that is there because now we have created a new repository. Since we added the option called add gitignore file, it actually made a commit. If you click that commit, can you click on it? Yeah. Now it's going to show you the difference. So the difference that you see in this commit is actually a new file being added, and that file has 129 lines. So yeah, can I scroll down? Now this file is just basically saying that anything that is written inside this file, if that kind of folder or a file is added into your repository, it's going to ignore. That is the purpose of .gitignore file. Now what we can do is, so this code is there in the cloud now because it's in GitHub. We don't have it in our local yet. So to do that, you have to do a clone. So clone is basically you take the code in your remote and bring it into your local. So now can you go back? Go back to the previous page. Again, go back again. Yeah. If you oh, okay, one more time to the page where we saw the files. Yeah. Click on that code button on right. Yeah. So here you can see we have multiple options here. One is open with GitHub Desktop. Okay, I haven't actually used GitHub Desktop. I'm a fan of using Terminal. You can download this code as download zip. The difference is I showed you, right? There will be a folder called .git. So that folder has everything about this repository, how the repository has changed and who has made the changes. Everything is contained in that in that .git folder. If you don't want that folder, because sometimes that folder can itself be big in size. So if you only want the code, you can just download it as zip. So, but we as a developer, we need those things, and we will be making changes and pushing those changes to this repository. So in that case, we need to do a clone, which is the first option given here. So can you click on the copy button there? Yeah, in that URL on the right. Yeah, there. So now you have copied that URL. So with this URL, you can clone this repository to your local. Now, can you open the Git bash? I think it is already open, right? Yeah, Control C. Yeah, create a new folder. So mkdir, this is called make directory. You're creating a new folder to terminal space. Yeah, give it as name like Git or Git learning something.
URL paste.
No. This is a folder name. Just put learning Git.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. So yeah, go into that directory by using cd space git. Cd is change directory. Yeah, and git. Yeah. So now she's in this directory. If you type git status here.
Git status.
Okay. Okay. You seem to have done the git init in your previous folder, right?
Yes.
So you have done that in your home directory. So what happened is, so any files that are inside that home directory is now considered to be the file which belongs to that repository. Okay. Can you remove that folder? Can you do cd dot dot cd space dot dot? Now it actually goes into the previous directory, which was the home folder of the user. Yeah. Enter. Yeah. Can you type ls-a? ls, I think a lot of files will be shown here. So here you will have .git on the left. You can see, right? The fifth file. So type rm-r rm space hyphen r space .git. Yeah, enter. Okay. Uh, did you commit something here?
No.
Okay, so okay, that's fine. Press Y, type Y and press enter. Enter. Okay. Can you do Control C? Let's add F here. Control C. Yeah. Type rm-rf.
RM hyphen.
Rm space hyphen rf. R is recursive and F is force. So don't use force if you don't properly understand it. Put space .git. Yeah. So this command is actually like dangerous. So use it only if you know what it is doing. Yeah. So I think it's removed. Can you go back into the folder which you created, cd space git? So now I think it won't be showing the master there. Previously it was showing master, right? That is because she initialized the repository in her home directory, and this git folder which we created comes under that home, so it considered that it belongs to that repository. Now inside here type git clone, git space clone space. Now paste in that URL. I think right click would paste it. Right click, no, control V won't work. Can you right click that? Do a right click.
Yeah.
Yeah. Enter. Now we are cloning that repository in your local. So you will be able to access the files which were there in that repository. Can you type ls? Enter. Yeah. Now you can see we have this folder. So this folder is actually the repository that was present in the remote inside GitHub. So now go into that folder, cd first. Yeah, you can now see that it says main. So main is actually the branch name, which is actually the main branch. So usually whenever you create a repository, it's going to have one main branch. Previously we had this name called as master. Now for some reasons they brought this name. They changed that name from master to main. It's something which is changeable. It doesn't matter. But yeah, you just need to know that master or main means that it is the main branch in your repository. So since she is inside a repository, the git bash is showing her the branch name which she is currently in. So branch is a concept of having multiple changes of your code separated from each other. Maybe you are working on two features, and you have to push these codes separately. In that case, you will create different branches so that you can work independently of one another. So here, if you type git log, which is the command which we previously saw, git log, enter. Now you will see that one commit which we did in the which was done by the GitHub repository itself while adding the git ignore file. That's what is shown here. Yeah. So now what we are going to do is we will add a new file here and push it to the remote. So how can you do code space dot? I hope that works here. Code space. Yeah, enter. Now this command opens the VS Code from the current directory that you're in. So this is the repository. Yeah, if you click there, actually there won't be anything because we haven't added anything yet. But there will be one commit. That's what we saw in the git log. So now go into the Explorer. Where did you hide? Okay, you seem to have hidden the Explorer. I think Control E would bring it up. Press Control E. No. Or else go to View. Control E or Control T. Oh no. Go to the View. Yeah.
Export.
Yeah. Exactly. Okay. Right click and create a new file. Yeah, you can click that. Yeah, great. So you can type app.py. Since we said this is a Python folder, I'm just creating this app.py. Yeah, press enter. Now type something in this file. Let's say write an import line. Import. Let's say OS. Yeah, go to the next line. Enter. Enter. Just add a print statement. Let's say yeah. Okay, great. So save this. So now if you go into the third tab, which is the source control on the left, yeah, third tab, third icon. Sorry. So now you can see it is in the stages and it is untracked file because this repository does not know this file already. So now if you click the plus icon, it's going to add it to staged area. Now can you type a message there? Add app.py. In there is a
Where,
input
sir?
box above that. Yeah, there.
Add.
Add app.py space add space app.py. It's a message that is going to help you to understand what changes brought through this commit. Yeah, that's enough. Now press the tick above that, above your cursor. Yeah. Now we have committed this file. So previously this file was not there in our repository. Can you open your browser and show that? That's obvious. Still, yeah. Here currently we have only one file, which is called .gitignore, but we have now committed a new file. But the thing is, we just committed that file and we haven't pushed that file yet. So that file is still in your local. Now, can you open the git bash? Yeah, and can you press Control L? Control L is basically a shortcut for clear screen. So in Windows you use CLS, and here you will use clear for Linux and Unix. But you can use Control L to just clear the screen. So here type git log. Now you will see the difference that there is a new commit which we have added just now.
Git log, sir.
Enter. Yeah, that is correct. Now you can see, we have this second commit, but the difference is uh, you can see that there is something called as origin/main. So this origin or remote is the word which refers to the actual cloud repository, so which is in the GitHub. So since that is shown in the previous commit, it means that your repository is only updated uh, till the previous commit, and the new commit that we have done is not yet pushed. So to do that, you have to do git push. Can you type git space push? Yeah, enter. Now, when you do that, what happens is the new file and the changes that you have added to this repository is pushed to the remote. Now, if you go back to the page, to the browser, can you open the browser? Yeah. Now refresh this page. Yeah, you will be able to see that the new file is added now, and the commit also says two commits. Previously it was just one, now it's two. Yeah, and you can access this file. Now if you share this repository to someone, they will be also accessing the same code that you weave here. So this is how you can collaborate and work with others. So git commit is a command which we saw, and we just tried git push, and I wanted to do something else. Can you click on the add file here?
Where, sir?
Add file, the icon before code on right. Yeah, there. Create new file. Yeah. Create a text file. Create some text file. Any name. Dot. Yeah. Let's leave that. It's not necessary that it has to have an extension. So type something in that file. So underneath you have an editor. Yeah. Type something in that. It could be, let's say, hello or whatever. Welcome. Hmm. Okay. Now you are creating this file from through GitHub itself. You are not using your local, but this is just to show you example of git pull. So nobody will be doing this unless you know exactly what you're trying to achieve here. People use the editor in the GitHub only when they need to change a word or two. when they are perfectly sure what has to be changed. Can you scroll down? Scroll down. Yeah, there will be commit. So now you are making a change. You have to again commit it. So type the commit message. So the commit message should no type the commit message. Yeah, about that. That's it. Yeah.
Create text.
Mm. Yeah. No. Cancel it. Remove that. So it actually gives you a suggestion of typing the commit message as create text. Okay. So because you have created a file called text, so just type the same thing, create text. I'm not sure if it actually automatically takes that, but yeah, that's fine. Since you have created a file called text, this seems yeah appropriate for this specific commit. Now you can do the commit new file.
Can I click commit new file, sir?
Yes, yeah. Since she had added the new file, you can see that new file is here. Now, if you go to your local, you won't have this file because you haven't connected with your remote yet. Can you go to the git bash or even VS Code? Yeah, let me show this thing in the VS Code. The second one on the right. Yeah. So here, open the Explorer. Again, view. I think it's Control Shift T. Yeah. Correct. So we don't have that file here. How you can bring that file is by using a command called git pull. So you can either use git pull or you can use the option given in the VS Code itself for doing the git pull. Click the source control icon, third icon on the left. Yeah. Click the triple dot, which is referred to as ellipses. Yeah, click on that. Here we will have a lot of options which you can use in this repository. With Git, there is an option called pull. Can you go up? Yeah, it is available down there.
Pull, sir.
So, yeah, it is available in two places here. Click that. Now it is actually pulling the code which is present in that repository, which is in the remote. So I think it has done pulling. So can you open the Explorer again? Control Shift key. No, not here. You have not changed anything here. You just added that file here, but now you need that in your local.
Yes.
Since she pulled the code from the remote repository, now it is available in our local. So this is how you will collaborate and work. Now you can share the access to this repository to someone else, and you can make changes here. You will push it, and the other person can pull the changes and work on top of it. Maybe if you're both working on the same file, you will get into a point where you will have something called as a merge conflict. So where you both change the same line, but they are the lines are having different contents. Maybe you assigned a different variable name or you assigned a different value or whatever it may be. So at that time, you will have something called as merge conflict, and you have to resolve this conflict to move further. So to make any commit, you have to resolve these conflicts, and then only you can do the commit. That's how it works. We are not taking up scenario. So these are the basic things which you can do with Git. So you create a repository using git init. So that git init command is needed only if that repository is created in your local. If you already have a repository in GitHub or Bitbucket, you can just clone it. So when you're cloning it, you just don't need that step called git init because it is already done. Okay. So I think yeah, I think you can stop sharing. That is all. Let me just explain.
Yeah, okay, sir.
Yeah. And I also think the class would end soon. I'm not sure how far. So this would be the last thing. So first what you do is you clone a repository, you create a file, then you add your contents to the file, then add the file using command called git add, which will bring the file from either untracked or unstaged to the staging area. When it is in the staging area, you have to commit that file. You can do git commit and the file name. So once you commit it, you'll be able to see that file in the git log. So once that is in the git log, which means that you have committed it properly. Once that is done, now you can push this code. You can do git push so that the code is sent to remote. So that's the basic working of Git. Yeah, I hope you guys got it. Is there any questions in that? There are also pretty complex things which you can do using Git, and yeah, so you'll learn when there's a need. So is that a question?
No, sir.
Okay, great. Okay, so probably tomorrow we will be moving further with creating our application. So tomorrow we'll be working with Python to create a backend API. So, and next week we'll be creating a React application which utilizes this backend API to show something, uh, to have our application built. So that's what the plan is. So then, okay, okay, then let's catch up tomorrow. That's it for today. Thank you, guys.
Yeah, thank you, sir.